What's up, everyone? I'm not trying to really be in the video, I'm more just talking. I'm going to be in and out. The video, I'll try and talk loud because I know we have an AC, which I'll click off in a minute. And the chiller and the filter pump here are both loud, so it will get quieter as I add more water to these tanks. I thought I'd do a video more or less, probably going to be a 20 or 30 minute video, basically showing what I'm going to do. The top tank is our saltwater. I want to get it prepped. I'm going to start adding some more fish to it in the next week or so. So now it's been really good, clean, acclimated, all the crabs are in there, everything's really going, and the fish has been doing well. So I'm going to scrub all the walls, clean out the filter area, and kind of remove, clean out and move the sand to the middle. Bottom tanks, the axolotls, I'm going to scrub all the edges, suck out all the scum at the bottom, and then do a water change and bring it back up top so the filter and everything in the chiller can work more efficiently. The first go around, I'm going to take you guys out back. I'll show you the pond I'm going to build, the pond I have out back. You'll probably see the new cat we got. So I'll kind of just take you around and show you. After that, as I'm going to get water buckets, it's going to probably be 5 or 6 trips. I'm just going to leave you here, that way you guys can watch the tanks. I'll probably throw some music over at that point and dub it over for you to make it a little bit less boring. But at least that way you guys can kind of watch the tank, see what's going on. And the axolotls, the fun thing is, and I will click on a light when I'm doing it, they don't love light, but they really come out when you start cleaning it, stirring things up, the shrimp will come out, and kind of you start to see some action. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of do that. But anyway, let's get to the fun part. This is kind of the boring part. Okay. So as everyone, I'm not sponsored, but API, it's what I use for basically everything. These are the basic things I'm going to use today. Pond stuff. So I got the Vivo filter. We're going to do a 270 gallon out back with a little waterfall on the deck. Got my 8-inch spillway waterfall with my rocks. Got an actual pump for the bottom. So we're working on it. Let me see. There's a little kitty. She's, I don't know, 6 weeks old. We got her a couple days ago. Her name's Black Betty. Our 3-year-old daughter named her, funny enough. But yes, she does love the song. Okay. So I'll take you over and show you just basic tropic flakes. When we moved here, that 55-gallon saltwater was actually a freshwater. And so I had a couple fish. I had a guppy. I had 2 or 3 damsels. I didn't have much, but I had a few things in there. So I figured, hey, obviously I'm not here to kill anything, so why not put them in a pond and let them kind of come out here. So Orange, I can see the guppies swimming right up top. He's right there. You might be able to see him. He'll pop on the food. He's the one that comes out for everything. There's a pleco in there. There's a Cory cat. But what I really love about this is when I first got it and set it up last year when we moved, I put dwarf blue crawfish. So we have like 6 or 7 half-inch to 1.5 inch crawfish in there, and you can actually get them to come up and eat. It's actually super cool. I've always wanted to have a crawfish pond, and that was the easiest thing I could do. So here we go. So on this, I'm going to get the water going. For about 1 second. Technical difficulties. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. Let this fill up. I'm going to fill this up a few times. I am going to leave this gate open and just make sure we do not let Black Betty out. I'll let that fill. Go inside here, and while that's filling, I'm just making you guys bored. I'll go get that bucket in a few minutes and I'll show you how I do the chemicals. But I'm going to set you up so you can see. And I'm going to start scrubbing the top tank and get the scum off it. We will be adding also, when we did landscaping work out front and at the beach recently, we've been finding a lot of glass, like sea glass. So we're actually going to add that in at some point. But first thing I want to do is I'm going to have to clean this glass, and I want to clean all of the actual scum inside the tank. I just use one of these magnets, toss it right in, it floats. If I can get it to not get sucked away on me. got mostly rocks. So let's move the rocks. I'm hoping when I move the rocks, the shrimp comes out. If he does, I'll bring you guys over so you can see him. There's a piston shrimp in here that's somewhere about an inch long. And I might uncover. I also know there's a couple sea fans that are hiding in the sand, and I just want to uncover them. Not on purpose, but. Go with the water. I'll be right back and go in here. Water for the axolotl tank. The top tank is good. I'll add a little bit of water later. Once I dump my first tank in the axolotl tank, or the axolotl, I'll pull out filters and start doing that. But I'm going to click on the big light right now so we can actually get some more clarity. So here, they should start coming out, and I'm going to start kind of scooping them. You'll see real quick how this is cleaned up and how it's done. A little bowl. Kind of scum. I'll show you guys what I'm playing at. It's just their axolotl's poop. It's almost like a pod. There's one of them in here, and most of the time it breaks pretty quickly. Or they're not super intelligent, so they fuck with it, and then it goes everywhere. Use my language. I will have to freak that out. But yeah, so let's see. Should be most of the crud. So now I will use this is the best oil. Same thing I use. No, I'm going to say that I may have a problem. That, switch out to my sponge. And then once I do a little scoop on this, and start adding water. But these guys, I'll tell you what, the biggest thing with anyone with an axolotl, everyone says having a chiller. And yes, like, safety-wise, you're not getting me wrong. They 100% need a chiller, which is what that is right over there. It says 66 degrees. I keep their tank between 62 and 68 degrees and 67. But I think the one thing that people underestimate is the size of the filter, like the canister filter. This is a 55-gallon tank, and I bought a filter for a 200-gallon tank because if they get stressed at all, and in the beginning and water changes and things, they kind of excrement and have like this like film on them. And the filter just, if it's not pumping enough, the water gets glazy and it becomes a nightmare to clean. And it's, I mean, to be honest, it's not safe for the fish. Unfortunately, axolotls. And that's the big thing here. And just so you guys know, this normally wouldn't be a video. Normally this would be me going live and just showing you guys every once in a while. But I'm doing a video because of the fact that I can't go live. I only have 20 or 21 followers. So if you guys are not following and see this, it really helps if you subscribe. Because if you can subscribe, it will get me at 50. Then I could actually go live. These guys also need a high pH. So almost every time I'll do another test, but I tested before the video. It needs to dump a little bit on the pH to get their volume up a little. It's just how they function over base water here in Florida. Now I will say, I'll tell you when I'm done. See, it already gets quieter. I'm going to let you guys watch. I'm going to go out and get a little bit more water and kind of get this thing going. And I'll actually show you. I see the shrimp and I see the fan coming out. So I'll show you guys. But I do see the albino axolotl coming out in the left corner. The black one is in that middle house in case you guys are looking for him. I will be back in a second. I'm sure you can already tell how much more quiet it is. I'm going to be back. I'm probably going to put in another 10 gallons of water, 2 or 3 buckets. After my next trip back, I was zooming in on the bottom tank so you can see the axolotls, and I'll throw some food out to get them to come back over. Okay. Now, let me zoom you in on that bottom corner.
Actually, a little lower. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Okay.
So I normally have ghost shrimp in there. I feed them pellets, and I do live earthworms as well. I kind of do a little bit of a mix. They seem to like a variety, so I give them a variety. There's just the two of them in a 55-gallon tank. Most research I read was 30 to 40 gallons was kind of needed for two. I figured why not go a little bigger. I'd love to get a third one, but I think I waited too long. These guys are about a year old. So I think at this point I put a tiny one in there, it would be a struggle. You're not really supposed to match them. Only reason these two are together is they were siblings, and they've been together the whole time, so I don't really worry about it. But yeah, so they have a big tank, and they're probably never gonna even get close to outgrowing it. I mean, you'll see when they come up front, they're 10 to 12 inches long. I haven't done a full measurement or kind of picked them up to check, but they're getting big. They're double the size weight-wise from what they were a year ago, if not more. Both round, girth-wise, and just the length. I mean, they're big. You probably might have seen a ghost shrimp just kind of float down into the right corner, down into the middle of the tank. There's a bunch of them in there, and that's kind of they're in there to feed and just kind of clean up the tank as well. They do a great job cleaning up all this scrap. I'm going to go with a bucket of water filled half the time again. A little bit more pH up in there. And I'll do a pH check later to kind of see where we're at. We'll be back in a second. Enjoy. Fishing tonight. hearing the door close, it's because I'm not letting the cat in here quite yet. We've only had her a couple days, and I know she'll mess with the tanks, or my desk, or all the windows you can probably see off to the side. Anyway. There we go. Now, we'll pull you back out so you can see everything. There you go. So yeah, you can see the tanks. Probably it's 67.8 in the axolotl tank. It will probably go up to just over 70. Just because of all the new water getting in there. It's kind of how it is. That's why I don't like adding a ton of water. I just added 12 gallons. And there's probably 50 something in there, so I did like a 25% water add, and I clean. I don't really like going more than that if I don't have to. I just always get worried it's going to create a problem for them. They're pretty fickle, as you can see. Homie kind of, I'm sure he ate something just now in the back or got bumped into something, so he's going to get all fickle and changed. But see, they're coming out nice. You got the ghost shrimp moving around. That's what happens. They got lights on and all that, so I am going to get these top filters cleaned and get this light off for you guys so it's not making it any more difficult for these guys down below, because I know they don't want the light anyway. I'm going to whoa, they're moving where they shouldn't be. Fine, I'll scoop them. My daughter wanted them in the tank, so they're in the tank. Let's get this filter. This is always the part I hate, because no matter how you do it or what you do, unless you turn it off and fully dump it, which you can do, but then there's a whole positive and negative to that. You get this. You get the cloud of doom. I'm actually going to turn it off today. I normally don't, but it's a self-climb. And this thing is just, I mean, so you guys know why it does that is it's the light. I have a really high powered light, and it's on a full spectrum. It's awesome for the tanks, but it also creates a lot of heat no matter how close or how far you put it from the tank. And so unfortunately, it creates a layer of scum and moss and everything in the tank that you'd never normally get, but it's more like nature. So I mean, it kind of is what it is. But man, it's a downside, because it's without that light, this thing would never get as scummy as it does now. But that light just makes it so bad so quick. So again, I'm not sponsored by any of these people, but this is what I use. It comes with the Tetra filter. It's just the Whisper. I'm gonna go clean them in the tank real quick and get all this dumped. I just like running some water over them first. You get that first dust of charcoal out, so it's not just getting shot into the tank. And I have the bio as well, all of this. I'm going to clean it real quick, and I'll be back in about 2 minutes, and I'll get that light off and show you the tanks. Hopefully these axolotls start even. It is quiet without that on and with the water so high and the other one. Man, that's nice. Excuse the view. Promise. That will be fast. sucker says self-prime, but we're gonna see how good this thing is. Let's go. See, that's not a... pull the whole thing out and dump it in a second. It's drying. We'll see. I can hear it trying. I'll turn it off a little on this thing. I'll give that a minute. I'm going to turn off this light. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. I'm hoping I'll keep doing my shorts. I'm going to turn off this light because these guys are not liking it and that's not fair. I'm going to try and, once I can get up to 50 subscribers, I'll start going live more. But I hope you guys like this. I'm going to get this tank kind of cleaned up a little more. Get that filter, here it comes. Get the filter running again and get everything going. And I'll get some shorts going, but thank you. At least you can kind of see it's so much quieter with that water tank going. And now I think this salt tank, I'm going to do a little scoop on it later on the filter, and I actually think it's ready for fish. So drop in the comments what you guys would want in there. I really want to get an eel. I really want to get some sort of like a puffer, but the puffers I know go after the crabs, and I don't really want to do that to the crabs. So we'll see. I want to get stuff local to Florida though, so I think a small eel will be fun. But yeah, drop comments, let me know what your thoughts are, and thank you very much for watching. Have a good one.